Hey, everybody. Good evening. I want to talk to you guys this evening about a couple of things. So, in the last 24 hours, I have been taught a few lessons, quite a few lessons, and I'm going to share three of them with you because I think that it's so relevant to what we're going through and the experiences, different experiences that we have, right? So, one of the lessons was I have been searching for a couple of different things. One of them is to get involved with a women's group, um, like-minded women that are business owners, writers, just different things like that. But most importantly, they are women of God. Okay. And I signed up for, I see it was in a group, and I signed up for a women's group, which looked really great. And it probably is great, but not for me. And let me tell you why. It's because when I went on signed into the meeting, they were playing Beyonce. I don't listen to Beyonce. I just don't. I haven't listened to her for a very, very, very long time. The Lord stopped me listening to her many, many, many years ago. Before all this other stuff, before I heard all this other stuff about witchcraft and blah, blah, blah. Way before that, God stopped me from listening to Beyonce. And the song that they were playing was a Beyonce song, which, I mean, I guess it was, I think it was, who was it? Who Runs the World Girls or something like that. I don't, it was her song. And so I immediately got off because any group of women that I will tie myself to will not be having Beyonce as their theme song because they will understand in the spirit that that's just not what we're doing. My opinion and what I'm not going to do. You guys do what you want to do, but this is what the Lord told me. Okay? Anyway, that's number one. Number two, last night, my husband was already in the room. He was watching TV, and I was going to bed. So I went up there, and he was watching a show on Tubi. Nothing major or whatever. And so he was like, hey, babe, I'm going to sleep. You can go ahead and turn on whatever you want to turn on. Now, I was literally sitting in the bed, had my earphones on, listening to some gospel music and reading the word. I just wanted to be in my bed. I wanted to be next to my husband. He was watching this show. And sometimes, sometimes when you marry, y'all don't even really want to talk to each other. You just want to be next to each other. That's how we are. Sometimes we just didn't. Last night we wasn't trying to talk or nothing. We just wanted to be next to each other, which was cool. He's doing his thing. I'm doing mine. Right. So anyway, he goes to sleep because he always goes to sleep before me. He goes to sleep and he said, gives me the remote. He says, here, babe, you can go ahead and change the channel. And I said, oh, I'm about to go to sleep too. I ain't worried about it. I take my earphones out, put them down, and I lay down and I go to sleep. But I do not change the channel. Now, normally, you guys, I fall asleep with, because usually I have the TV. So I'll fall asleep with something that's, like worship music on YouTube or some videos of pastors and different, just things that if I wake up, it's going to be something about the Lord on the TV. Okay? Or it might be a TV show or something like that. That's just what I do. But last night I did. And I had the most, um, I'm not going to say most because I've had some way worse dreams than this. I've just learned how to fight in the spirit. So the devil can't mess with me. And I ain't scared of him no more. So whatever. Anyway, he tried to attack me in my dream. And I woke up to this show that was on that was some guy he was doing some crazy stuff to some women. It was completely um it was crazy. And so I share that because you guys, it's so important. I know people say, oh, well, it doesn't matter. It's TV. That stuff matters. What you go to sleep to, like your spirit never sleeps. So it's picking up everything else that's around, including TV, what's on the TV. So just be careful with that. But that was lesson number two. Like I gotta be more vigilant. The Lord had told me a long time ago, probably a few months ago, to not watch certain programs, shows that I love. Okay, and we don't say love because I don't even really care about them no more. But I really liked them at the time. I really, really liked them. Like, Lord, surely you cannot be telling me not to watch my programs. And he said, surely I can be telling you not to watch your programs. And since you acting like that, how about you just don't watch TV at all for a while? And I was like, okay, Lord. So I hadn't watched TV at all for a while, except for YouTube, which was pastors preaching and stuff like that. But that's neither here nor there. That was lesson number 2. Be careful of what you allow in your spirit, even in your sleep. You got to be careful what you leave on your TV. All right. I told my husband, I said, listen, after last night, we ain't even got to sleep with the TV on no more. I did it because I grew up like that and I like having that extra little light. And I like sound. I don't like sleep. When it's too quiet, I can't sleep. Anyway, that was lesson 2. Lesson number 3. I had signed up to go to a women's conference. And it was a Christian women's conference. And when I got there, everything was good. The music was good. I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay. So then they get up and they introduce the speaker. And when they introduce the speaker, they give all these accolades, which are amazing, right? And they give all these accolades of this woman. And as they're giving her accolades, they say that she is part of a sorority. I don't remember which one. They say the name of it, but I don't remember it. And instantly, my spirit got shooken. Shook it up. Like, oh, wait a minute. I have worked way too hard to renounce Freemasonry off of my bloodline, Eastern Stars off of my bloodline, sororities and fraternities off of my bloodline, and any other occult, Islam, because my grandfather was a Muslim, off of my bloodline. I have worked way too hard to get that stuff knocked. I learned, I know too much. And I worked way too hard to allow somebody who is part of the occult, because that's what a sorority and a fraternity is, it's part of the occult, to speak over my life. So you guys know what I did? I happily got up, grabbed my purse, and walked right on up out of there. And let me tell you, I got to say this. I sat there for a minute. I was like, well, Lord, surely I could still listen to this woman preach. She might, it may be something I could. But my spirit it wasn't settled anymore. It just wasn't settled. And let me tell you this. I thank God that they even did the introduction, because had I not heard that, I probably wouldn't have left until, I'm pretty sure I would have felt something else as time went on. But that was before she even got up to speak the word. That was before that. And I'm sure that, listen, let me tell you something. I just work way too hard to be free. And I will tell you guys this. I did, and I actually I used my own book today. Okay. When I woke up from that dream out and all the different stuff and what was going on in the spirit realm last night, I was off. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I need to pray this thing through. And so when I went to work, before I even got to work, when I was getting dressed, I was like, Lord, what's going on? And I said, you know what? I wrote a book about this. I wrote a book to handle this type of thing. When I'm going through it, my spirit is unsettled. And I went into my book, and the back of the book has prayers that I wrote, that I say, that I spoke over my family and my children. And I used my book to get me out of that feeling. And it worked. It worked because I'm speaking the word of God over my life. So I'm sharing all of this, you guys, to say, and I know normally I'm talking about the word. It's so important what we let into our ears, ear gates, and what we let into our eyes. It's so important. Because everything that we let in impacts our spirit. Right? The type of music we listen to, the type of TV shows that we watch, the people that we listen to, the things we tell ourselves. Let me tell you something. It is so, you have to speak the word of the living God over your life. And you have to be obedient. When God tells you something, and right now I'm at a point in my life and in my walk with Christ where I'm not chancing it. I can't. And I don't know what was going to happen. I'm not chancing it. And I wouldn't recommend that any of you guys do either. So I don't know where God gonna leave me. I don't know where I'm gonna find my people. I don't know where I'm gonna find the women that I can connect with that's on the same page as me. I don't know. But what I do know is I'm not gonna compromise. I'm not gonna compromise. So, with all that being said, I want to remind you guys to get the book, Broken Cycle, Salvation plus Deliverance equals freedom. And let's get free. Let's get free and stay free. All right. So get the book on Amazon. It is stating that it is temporarily out of stock, but that's okay. Go ahead and order it anyway. And as soon as it's back in, which should be within the next day or so, they'll have some more copies, and you'll be able to get yours. So, with all that being said, I love you all. Remember that God loves you, and we gonna walk this thing out together. We gonna be free. All right. Have a good night.